Hey everybody, Glyco here, back with yet another video. So in this video, and for spoiler alert, I've tried to make this video like 4 times already, but who knows? Maybe fifth time's the charm. Okay, so in this video, I wanted to ask what would happen if the S-rank hunters, all S-rank hunters from solo leveling, were sent to the world of Wistoria Wand and Sword. I know I use Wistoria Wand and Sword for this type of scenario a lot, but the way their world is set up just makes it very, very, very interesting. Okay. So, ground rules. All S ranks in Jinwoo is gonna have his power. He's gonna have his full, Shadow Monarch power. So in the series, Jinwoo. So Jinwoo at the end of the Monarch War. Okay, that Jinwoo. So, all right, off rip, Jinwoo is a Magia Vander level being, probably even greater than that. Jinwoo was able to easily stop an S rank gate all on his own. He was able to defeat several monarchs. He defeated the Ice Monarch, the Beast Monarch, the Monarch of the Beginning, though the Monarch was kind of tied up. Jinwoo, obvious Magia Vander level being. Other than Jinwoo, there's not really any Magia Vander level mages. Now, the 4 national mages, we can put them at high tower mage level, or maybe even above ascendant or slightly above ascendant level mage, but that's about as far as they're gonna go. They've got the Chinese national, and I'm gonna call him Chinese because I don't know his name, but I'm not trying to. Well, I know his name, but I butcher his name a bunch. But there's no racism or anything in this. But the Chinese national level hunter, he was able to wipe out an army of Jeju Island ants, about 200, I believe, and he initiated a massive blast that went up and down the Chinese coastline. So pretty impressive. And then you got, and even though he's not a national level being, you got Joeen, who was able to use fire magic on a destructive and also a wide scale. He casted an entire net above the entrance of the ant colony to prevent B rank or lower ants from getting inside and swarming them. And that was a vast spell. And he used a couple of high powered spells prior to just coming to Jeju Island when the ants were trying to attack them when they were landing. So he's got some destructive power behind him. So what happens? Well, and let's say like they're settled in. They're gonna stay on the island. They're not gonna try to go anywhere, right? They're gonna stay on in the world with Story Wand and Sword. They're not going back. If Jinwoo's the only one who can really become a Magia Vander, right? So if Jinwoo doesn't become a Magia Vander, they just craft a life, doing something. But if Jinwoo becomes a Magia Vander, it's likely he'll just bring all the S-class mages into the tower with him. Yeah, they're all arrogant and all that, but once they see the difference in their powers, like how strong the Magia Vander are and how much stronger the Magia Vander are compared to them, I think they'll go with them. So, it should be noted though, the national level hunters are going to be a bit tricky as they're immensely powerful. Like national level hunters could ascend the tower on their own. They just can't become Magia Vander. I don't think they have enough power for that. I could be wrong, but because the Magia Vander, the national level hunters are basically considered to be so powerful that they're like nations unto themselves. They're the S class to the S classes. So, yeah. But no one else really wields the amount of power necessary to become a Magia Vander or get even high in the tower. But I want to throw something out here, right? These guys, all hunters from solo leveling, have mana. And we know that, obviously the people of Story Wand and Sword have mana to use their magic. Well, couldn't the S-rank hunters use their mana to learn magic? Couldn't they, if you give them a wand, wouldn't they be able to make, channel their mana into the wands to create magic? So I believe all of the S-rank hunters could use magic to some extent. Now, again, this won't be anywhere near enough to be a Magia Vander, but they would be pretty decently high tower mages because all S rank warriors, all S rank mages have an immense amount of mana. That's what that once they're when that machine that measures the amount of mana they got, once it dictates that you're off the charts, you're officially in S rank. So, you know, I don't, and you can say, well, it's a different power system. It's from a different world. Well, warriors from hunters from solo leveling gain powers and skills from bosses and stuff and runes. If they can learn stuff from that, I'm sure they could get a wand and learn how to shape their mana into magic. Heck, they already have the ability to manipulate their mana. There's confirmed to be false rankers in solo leveling, people who trick the machine by controlling how much mana they put into it. I'm sure in S rank and all hunters put mana into the machines for it to measure. All hunters can manipulate their mana, so all they will need is the wand to be able to allow them to use an elemental catalyst. And somebody like Joey probably wouldn't even need a wand, but the wand could boost his power. So in fact, actually, now that I think about it, the national level hunters, if they can use a wand, they would be on par with Magi Evander. Okay, well, so Jinwoo, even without a wand, Jinwoo is definitely Magi Evander. His ruler's authority, his 1,000 to 1 million something shadow army, the unbelievable power of his shadow minions. Jinwoo might be able, and I do say might be able to, no pun intended, solo Wistoria Wand and Sword all on his own. But yeah, let's get back to the topic of the video. If Jinwoo decides to arise in the tower to become a Magi Evander, then he'll bring the other S ranks with him. I think Jinwoo will have all of them stick together. If not, they'd all just go live off. They just go live, somewhere unto themselves. Maybe they go make a new nation. But I do know this. If they can't use magic, a lot of the warrior classes and the archer classes will be discriminated against by the mages of Wistoria Wand and Sword. Kind of how people didn't like Will, even though, because he used the sword, he had no magic. And even once he beat the Deviander, the thing that killed Magi Evander, there were still high tower mages who didn't think he belonged because he couldn't produce magic himself. But you would say, well, they got mana, but Will was able to have a sword to manipulate magic. So what's the difference? So the mage classes like Joey and and Kei from the one of the Japanese S-rank hunters, they would be okay. Jinwoo would be okay. The national level hunters would be okay. Everyone, but if the other S classes can't use wands, they're screwed. Now, I want to bring up one thing, right? Even the national hunters, I don't think they're at the level of Magi Evander, but I will say now that I think about it, they're above somebody like Edward. They're above a high tower mage, even if slightly, because Christopher Reed created flames that were so intense that a bunch of high-level mages, a bunch of S-rank mages, and a bunch of firefighters. I think it's about 100. I think it's about 100 something firefighters and 14 S-rank mages could not get the flames he created under control. That level of power is insane. It's something like that which is really making me wonder if I should put the national level hunters on par with the Magi Evander. Yeah, the national level hunters are nation. They have the power of nations unto themselves, and they can easily solo S-rank gates on their own. But Magi Evander I believe them to be country to continent level. But hey, that's just me. But that's pretty much what I see happens. It's all going to depend on Jinwoo. If Jinwoo doesn't go in a tower, they definitely won't. The S ranks definitely wouldn't go to the dungeon. There would be no point. My earlier video, I thought they would, but now that I think about it, the dungeon isn't really threatening the people of Wistoria Wand and Sword. I don't see the mages doing that. And heck, the warrior class mages might not even be able to fight because they wouldn't have weapons infused with mana. So very interesting can turn out. Yeah. That's what I think would happen if the S-rank hunters were sent to the world of Wistoria One the Sword. I'm Glacko. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you all next time.